Reasons why Kenya will not have dominion for the next 10 years. Kenya, an amazing nation with boundless potential, stands at a crossroads. We have the power to become a beacon of progress in Africa. We can claim our position in the world. Sadly, there are just some things that make this dream impossible or hard to achieve. Here are just a few reasons why Kenya might not have its dominion for the next 10 years. Oh. And by the way, I am just scratching the surface on this one. This is not all. Let's dive into it. Number 1. Selfishness of our national leaders. The spirit of self has invaded our leaders, making them selfish and greedy. The beginning of every downfall is selfishness and greed. And our leaders have it all. The deception of accumulating material wealth makes them greedy to do whatever it takes for them to get them. They can kill, be corrupt, and allow harmful products in the country just for them to put some 100 million in their pockets. Too bad for them, because the king above all will not let them have peace in their lives. Not even the generations after them. No wonder they get diagnosed with unusual diseases. Unfortunately, this selfishness is generational. The mentors are teaching their ments these unethical habits. The more they venture into this direction, the more Kenya sinks into debt and a poor economy. The world thinks Kenya is moving forward, but it's not. That's the truth. What will you do about it? This has to change. But who will change it? Number 2. Primitivity and tribalism. I don't think we need to insist on the negative effects of tribalism. But primitivity? That's another problem altogether. People think that just because they are educated, they are well equipped with the things of life. But that's not true. The mindset created by our society is the poison killing ourselves and destroying the destiny meant for this amazing country. I cannot exhaust this topic in this particular video. I might need another hour to talk about it. Moving on. Number 3. Not seeing the bigger picture. Most Kenyan citizens are smart, and it has been proven that in every 10 Kenyans, 6 are critical thinkers. This means that with the right mentorship and guidance, the young men in the country can become the world's best leaders and solution makers. If we can just train the young generation on the bigger picture, they will work so hard to achieve that. But the problem is, even the leaders who are supposed to impart this knowledge and skills to us don't know what the bigger picture looks like. They are there to feed their stomachs and do not care about any of us. Kenya seems to not have a blueprint of where it's going in the next 10 years. We are just there to exist. No wonder we are always oppressed every time we get a new leader. New leaders make life harder than before. I thought it should be the vice versa. Every elected president comes with an agenda, decapitating the vision of the previous president. Meaning, that every 10 years, there will not be a continuity of any good thing started by the previous leader. That goes to all our leaders. The presidents, MP, governors, senators, MCA, and even the ministers. Number 4. Poor educational systems. Here is why our educational system is not so good. If a 15-year-old cannot be smart enough to make mature decisions that will shape their life, then we have failed. Teen years are very crucial, they might shape or destroy the life of an individual. But what has our educational system done? Is dumping more irrelevant information in their minds and neglecting to instill important values in their lives. For instance, a 15-year-old should have read 20 books by the time he or she is 15. Books about finances, morality, marriage, management, and all those important principles you are struggling to learn right now as an adult. Comment down below, if I am right or wrong. You see, if most of us had the correct education on life, we would not have so many issues. I mean, most of us are still struggling with a lot of crises. For instance, we are not taught how to become rich, how to become influential leaders, not even a single thing about becoming a father. Every leader comes from a family. Every thief comes from a family. Every individual comes from a family. The bringing up of all of us begins from what our parents and guardians instill in us. See, even though society shapes a certain percentage of our lives, what our parents teach us becomes the weighing scale to see what cultures to pick or drop. So, if what we are getting from our families is augmented and distorted, how in heaven will we ever choose the right thing from what society feeds us? Number 5. Our leaders lack vision for the country. As mentioned before, we do not have a vision for this country. We just hop on the temporary misguided vision of the sitting leader, which by the way is full of selfish desires and pride to make a name for themselves. Instead of making a good name by doing a good job, all they do is steal and fill their pockets. Have you seen how police receive bribes daily? This country has no direction and no blueprint. We are just building whatever the hell we are building. Trust me, we shall end up with a shitty-looking nation if we keep on doing this. Maybe this is a dumb solution. But what if we create a group of wise men and women? Let's say call it the Board of Governance. These people should be highly esteemed individuals comprising religious and business leaders. This group must have people at heart. They will sit above the presidential seat and his government. This should be the group that determines who should run for the president, sit out of the candidates and nominate the 5 people who should run for presidency based on their agendas and plans for the country. They should be there to see if the elected leaders lead the nation to the common goals for the nation. This means they will have a plan for the nation. Best of the best strategies to move the country's economy forward. Good luck with that, Kenya. Number 6. Kingdom-oriented leaders. This probably is the biggest problem this country has. Our leaders are driven by self. I have not seen any leader in this country who is kingdom-oriented. Sorry, but if you are out there, where the hell have you been all these years? It's time this country gets a taste of God's leadership. Whenever that happens, only God knows. I hate Kenya's politics for one reason: stupid politics and lack of respect for the country. I mean, I love my country, but the politics is just full of crap. When will we have mature politics? Probably 99 years from now. I might not see it 'cause I'll be dead. Too bad. Number 7. Misguided beliefs. The era of social media is about to ruin the nation's best gift: the young people. The celebrities are just making it worse by presenting their fake lives on the platforms. Now I'm left to wonder, why on earth do we young people think that fame is what God made you for? These delusions on social media are just there to corrupt your mind, leading us completely off course, far away from the destiny God meant for us. I see young girls faking it on Instagram and TikTok, trying to create an impression that is not beneficial at all. You and I both know that the things you do on these platforms do not add anything to your skills, experience, or even the ability to make wealth. It's just a big error that social media platforms make people fools instead of making them smarter. The government of China realized this mistake and dealt with it perfectly. I mean, other than the government just taking loans from China, I think we should also take their positive values that lead to the nation's development. We, young people, spend hours and thousands of shillings each month watching useless things, and all it does in our minds is limit us from becoming what we are in God. Instead of finding the best ways to build ourselves and shape our future, we end up wasting our precious youth years. We are crying about joblessness all the time. Where do you get the cash to spend hours on TikTok and Instagram? Leave alone the time. The enemy has used these platforms to enclose our potential in a bottle. This is sad. I'm just about to cry now. Let me just end this talk. Till another time, I'm going to wipe my tears. Good luck, Kenyans. Let us see you doing something about that. Oh. And subscribe to the channel and like the video. Make sure you leave a comment. This might